might be working. We might be working.
It hasn't gone away yet.
Hasn't gone away yet.
We've got no viewers, but...
Well, we said we were going to start 10 minutes ago. And we didn't start 10 minutes ago. But we're there. Possibly. If you're watching this, you can fill in the chat box and tell us if we're here. That might work. We don't know how Twitch works. We don't use it very often. But it's lovely to see you all. We're going to assume this is working and it's being stored somewhere.
We've got a viewer.
Somebody said something. Somebody said something. No,
It's just welcome to the chat.
It's just one viewer. Brilliant. Hi, viewer. If you write in the chat who you are, we'll say hello to you personally.
We will.
Otherwise, we'll just call you viewer.
Just pick a random, assign a name. It's a lot of speed.
We're very new to Twitch. We don't really understand it, so we've got some stuff that we're going to say. So this is our first of the LarpCon TV streams. It's our plan. We're going to feature my history of LARP with some interviews with some various LARP creators and makers. Mainly makers, because I find them, but creators seem to be more interesting. Who knows? Maybe we'll have some sort of fight. If you've got any suggestions for the future of what you want, or you want to take part, maybe message us on the Facebook page for LarpCon, or email info@larpcon.co.uk. That might be somewhere in the details somewhere. I don't know. Subscribe to this channel because apparently it gets us some money. That'd be brilliant. You can make it a favourite, then you'll see when we're posting. That'd be brilliant too. We'll like that. And what else have I written down here? Remember, if you subscribe to Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription to a Twitch channel included in your subscription. I say free, but you're paying for your Amazon Prime, so it ain't really free, but sort of free. So if you use that subscription to subscribe to us, that'd be brilliant. You don't pay any more money than you would normally, and you get to watch whatever you watch on Amazon Prime. Admittedly, Disney Plus has ruined that all by putting loads of shows on Disney Plus instead. We've made a list of questions that Emily's going to ask me because we don't know how to get somebody else from a different place to interview me. I'm sure there's a way. It's technology. So at the moment we're in our back garden, which is lovely. So yeah, we've made a list of questions. If you can think of any more good ones or hate the ones we ask, let us know. So the first off is the introduction. And my name's Ian. Ian Knope, who's Ian Knope, who's be doing the interview today. That's my name. I run Having a Larp, that's why I'm here. But I also run LarpCon, which is why I'm running the channel as well. So I'll be here normally doing interviews, but right now I don't know how to do interviews with other people, and no one else is here. So I'm here as in all things, but really I'm here as Having a Larp. That's what I'm doing today.
Representing Having a Larp and probably LarpCon.
It's very disturbing.
The
chat box is over my head. Yeah,
I'm just thinking you can only see me, you can't see you.
Well, I'm gorgeous, doesn't matter.
So, how long have you been LARPing?
Long time. I started LARPing in 1988. So, what, 34 years this year? Yeah, 34 years. You don't know. You look at me blankly. 34 years in September. 34 years in September.
Where did you start LARPing?
I started at a club in South East London called Labyrinth, which is still running now. Which is where I started working and making stuff as well as playing, and I was at some points in charge of the game system and in charge of finding referees and all sorts of craziness down there.
Answering the phone.
And answering the phone a lot, yeah.
How long have you been making stuff for?
I started making stuff very shortly after I started LARPing. When I started LARPing, we didn't have weapons. We lived near a forest and we had sticks. So we got quite good at parrying, because getting hit by a stick really hurts. So we're making gaffer weapons pretty early on in sort of 89, 90. And I started working in the Labyrinth workshop making latex weapons in 92. And I stopped working making weapons in about 2006. That's not helpful, is it? It's not a chat box. We've done nothing. No one cares about that right now. Go away.
So who taught you to make stuff?
I I was taught in the Labyrinth workshop, and there were a number of people there. But some techniques I sort of figured out for myself, and some techniques I just picked up from all over. I've listened to loads of people that make weapons and chatted to loads of people and tried to learn ideas and stuff. Mainly it was gooning around in the workshop, making very ugly swords.
Where'd you get your inspiration from to make such ugly swords?
Yeah, I don't really make anything. Back then I just latex things people put in front of me, and I would think of the colour choices myself. I did once paint a sword which had a strange, very small wrap guard. I painted it with a black blade and a silver guard, and it looked awful, really, really bad. And it didn't help that was one of the first weapons I painted, and when I clipped it into the weapon racks, it slipped down a little bit, and so the latex had coated onto the weapon rack, so I had a strange metal clip mould in it. But we still sold it, so hey ho.
Maybe it's still out there somewhere.
I doubt it. Years ago, I laughed at Medlock that the company I was working for made loads of weapons, and the company he was working for made loads of weapons. After the August Bank Holiday weekend, what did everyone do with them? Did they get to the motorway and look at it and go, well, I don't need that for another year, so get rid of that, and just toy it out the window? Were their fields, like from a junction up and junction down from where we all joined the M1, that were just littered with swords that people were throwing at their cars as they drove away? Because we sold loads. So no, I doubt it. The latex would have been so old it should have rotted off by now, and now the sword won't be as bad. Can't imagine the tip lasted, but hey ho.
Have you invented any techniques?
Loads of stuff. When I was making stuff, not so much, because it was mainly painting, although my wood effect was awesome. And I've come up with a couple of tips, creation, reinforcement techniques and the like, and little bits. I thought about this while I was writing this list of questions, and what I think so what was the question? Inventing techniques. I invented something called the half an hour rule, and that's when we're trading and we're in a field, if you're standing in your tent and no one has been by for half an hour, it's probably time to close and go to the tavern, or go and role play, or go and do whatever it is you want to do, go and see your mates. If after standing around for 25 minutes somebody walks into your stand, walks around it once, doesn't buy anything, doesn't pick anything up, doesn't even interact with you, and walks out again, that restarts the half an hour clock, and so half an hour starts again. And as it happens, I'm pretty certain some other people use that guidance too when running their shops. So yeah, I invented the half an hour rule. Hey, there we go.
A shoehorn, another one in here. Which part of the job is your least favourite?
Loading van. Everyone wants to go home. Nobody wants to take down wet, heavy things. Nobody wants to pack things up neatly so they'll go in a van and make it all fit. The worst part of my job used to be going the last day of Drachenfest, which is a fabulous event in Germany, which I'm not going to for the first time in about 18 years. What's that? That's another message that's not to do with us, isn't it? Brilliant.
Nope.
So yeah, on the last day of Drachenfest, on the Sunday, we'd get up very early in the morning, load our van, drive 2 hours, and unload our van and reset up our stall at Conquest of Midodea, which is another fabulous event. And while those two events are great, and I'm really sort of missing going to them, I'm not missing that day of unloading, loading and moving things. It's only business with a drone. Very small
Tiny.
drone. Little do they know, we own bows and arrows. The drone's gone away now. I heard me talking about bows and arrows. It'd be cool drone footage, frankly, unless I hit it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I hate most about the job, is loading up things.
What are you proudest of?
Loads of stuff. Everything I do is brilliant. He said modestly. And Having a Larp's pretty awesome. We've been running quite a long time, and we've gone from being a trader selling stuff to going to lots of places and selling lots of things. I'm probably proudest of kicking off LarpCon, which I think I started a little bit more. I don't know, they're both pretty impressive. I've started 2 companies and run them. We're still looking at the drone. This drone buzzing around. It's more interesting than us.
Passing back by again.
I think Having a Larp helped with LarpCon because I could use the threat of, look, if you don't come along and trade, I will just fill up a hall with a very large amount of Having a Larp's kit. I don't care if you don't come. And so people came along. Because, I mean, ideally, LarpCon gets lots of people coming and we have a really, really good event. And I think I'm trusted that if I'm doing something in LARP, it's going to be pretty good. Or you will hate me and it will be terrible. One of the two. What is the drone doing? He's just sat there now. I think he's spying on us. Quick.
Maybe they're trying to work out how to get used to the controls.
Hide the ketamine. That's ruined our Twitch. I've only been here for 10 minutes. Mentioned illegal narcotics already taken out of it. Right, so yeah, LarpCon. I made LarpCon. It's pretty good.
And finally, tell us a funny story.
Got a lot of funny stories. I don't know if... one of my favourite stories is from Drakenfest. And when we go to foreign countries to trade, it's all a little bit unusual just because, you know, it's a different country. I mean, it's pretty similar, but it's a little bit unusual. And we got to this German event, and there were 3 different traders from English companies trading there. And the Germans, organisers, place us all together in a little row with the thoughts that when they go to events, they like to be near their friends, which is pretty true. But while that's cool, and the 3 English traders basically got along and it was quite a jolly time, firstly, we see each other every week, and it's nice to make new friends with other traders and hang out and have a bit of a laugh. And it felt a little bit like we'd all been parcelled up into one corner. I mean, we hadn't, it was just a coincidence, but there we were in a corner. And we thought a trader on the other side of the road was Russian. He wasn't, he's German, but he speaks Russian, so we thought it was Russian. That was close enough for us. So we had a little gang in a corner somewhere. At Drakenfest, they have lampposts, which somebody goes and hangs oil lanterns from each night. I took 2 lampposts out of the road and put the short end in the ground and left the long end across the road, and it formed a bit of a barrier. And then along with a few other traders from the UK, we formed a roadblock and demanded to see people's official permission to go past their roadblock, or demand a copper, or whatever other nonsense people would come up with. Somebody beguiled me, somebody gave me a blessing so I'd have super dreams, which was handy because about 3 minutes later, one of the avatars from one of the camps came around the corner and was very angry that we'd built this thing and shouted at us a lot, and then cast a sleep spell on me. So she made me fall asleep, but I had lovely dreams, so that was alright. Someone beguiled me, and I took him and his mate through the barricade, and then he gave me the cure, so I threatened to beat him up and ushered him on his way. So basically he got his way and everyone was happy. And this went on for about an hour and a half until the militia turned up and arrested us. At which point, of the, I don't know, 10 or 13 English traders that were knocking around and the people helping on their stalls, everyone disappeared but me and Ian Davis. And we got dragged off to prison, where we were forced. Well, we were put in a cell for a while, where there was a box that apparently you could unpick with the lockpicks, but I didn't know that, so I was trying to hard skill unpick them, and it wasn't working. And then we got put in front of the judge, who found us guilty of some made-up words that apparently everyone's guilty of. So it was a little bit of a kangaroo call, but it was pretty funny. And some of the other English LARPers who happened to be at Drakenfest were there involved in our court case, and one of the group was trying to be our lawyer, and this poor German guy who was role playing as the magistrate, putting up with this nonsense. Bless him, it was super. So we got sentenced to hard labour, which meant me and Ian had to make a bracelet in out of little wooden beads, and because Blue Camp had won the previous year, at least one of the beads we used had to be blue to represent them. So Ian made his really quickly, shame on him, and I took ages making mine all neatly and angly. And then another friend of ours who happened to be in Germany at the time, Dave Norris, went and found these bracelets which were being sold in the local in-character tea shop, and they had a little tag on them with their character names and made in prison. So I don't know if Dave still got them. I do know that he told me that immediately on purchasing, one of the beads fell off, the one I'd made. That was pretty funny. But yeah, I generally get about an hour and a half tops role play at an event before I have to go and do some work or something else happens. There you go, there's a funny story.
Causing trouble in Europe.
So yeah, that's what we're planning to do. That's the end of our stories. That's the end of our questions. The ice cream man's pulled up somewhere over there. I don't know if you heard his tune. I've got a hankering for an oyster. I haven't had one in ages. I don't ever know where the ice cream van is either. By the time I got there, he'd driven away, giggling. Ooh, that's a terrible ice cream van. They're hunting down the drones flyer. Well, so yeah, that's what we've done. Hopefully this has worked. People have seen it. Or you haven't, don't mind really.
One person's definitely seen it.
There we go. Well, it's going to be on Twitch, so I think you can watch it in the future. And if you can work out how, and as long as this is saved as media, then we'll download it and put it on YouTube. Ooh, and then we'll take over the world. So remember to subscribe or like or something, I don't know.
There's a bell, probably, somewhere.
Ring a bell, hit the bell icon.
Smash that like
Smash
button.
that like button. Yeah, we don't know what it means, but it's on the videos my daughter listens to all the time. So yeah, we're going to finish now. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope we'll see you all soon in a field or a leisure centre or some other wacky place. Or you can shop online at our website, or I don't know, come to our wrestling shows, but it's a whole different story. All right, thanks for tuning in. Going to press the end button. Bye now.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? I'm still here. I haven't pressed the end stream button.